Back during the late 90s, there was a TV programme on, which hopefully most of you remember, called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now granted, this obviously mostly featured vampires. This is obviously back before the Twilight shite, when vampires were actually cool and moderately frightening. But every once in a while, a mysterious death or occurrence would happen, and Giles, who's basically Buffy's watcher, knowledgeable of all things evil, would say, I think there might be some zombies at work. I think it's something to do with zombies. And whenever he said that word, it left me with a sense of dread and uneasiness. So what is it about zombies that's frankly so damn frightening? Modern zombies, in modern pop culture at least, they're not the undead that come up from the coffins and claw their way through the earth to get to the nearest person. The modern zombies are more recently deceased but infected. That's what's kind of frightening about them, really, in my view, because, you know, assuming we got some sort of airborne virus that you know, brings the dead back to life, there's 150,000 people worldwide die each day. So you imagine that on top of all the bites that people will receive which turn them into zombies, and you've got a big fucking problem on your hands. Now let's face it, a dead body, a corpse if you will, is frightening alone. What it is, what it represents, the you know, physical aspect of it, but probably even more so the mental aspect of it. Now a dead body that's somehow been reanimated and is coming to try and eat you, now that's the sort of thing that nightmares have nightmares about. Part of the reason I think zombies are so frightening is because, really, if you think about it, they are the physical embodiment of death. They don't stop, they don't plot, they don't scheme, can't be bargained with, have no sense of right or wrong, can't be pleaded with, and they have no choice, and they're basically working on primal instinct, and they're not something you can wait out or ignore. And actually, as far as the whole fast zombies, slow zombies debate goes, I prefer the slower zombies, because as Alfred Hitchcock once said, there is no terror in the bang, only in the anticipation of it. And it's the constant thought of knowing that they're out there and they're slowly sort of clambering towards you. As a line in a Night of the Living Dead film says, they're coming to get you, Barbara, which is basically what they're doing for all of us humans. They're coming to get us. Like if they existed, and they're not going to stop, and they're not going to, you know, we're not going to manage to outlast them or anything like that. They're going to be flipping, scraping on our door and waiting to come in and give us the most horrific death possible, simply because that's just what they fucking do. Now, if you've come to this video on the page, chances are you probably do have a thing about zombies, a thing for zombies even, and you probably think yourself as some sort of zombie killer badass, you know, oh, if the shit hits the fan, I'm going to fucking Bruce Willis or Arnold Schwarzenegger and just go around and laying the smack down and killing everything. It's going to be fantastic. Bullshit. It isn't going to be fucking fantastic, okay? It's going to be hell on earth, because when you have your neighbours or your friends or your family, and if they get killed, that's going to be shocking enough. But for them to come to life, so to speak, and start trying to eat your fucking flesh, there's no way you're too cool for school from that one, kid. No, you're going to get fucked, because you're going to be standing there, you're going to be frozen solid, and chances are they'll get to you. So you've really, really, really got to have some serious mental work going on here. Now, if there's the one thing that the Walking Dead TV series has taught me, besides how stupid Andrea is that being alive is basically hell. I mean, imagine you're in a zombie apocalypse and you wake up from a nightmare and you wake up sweating and, you know, you're kind of shocked and whatnot, and you think, oh well, back to reality. Now there's only 99.9% of the world's population trying to eat my fucking flesh. Those characters in The Walking Dead that have been shot are frankly the lucky ones, because really in a zombie apocalypse scenario there's only sort of 4 ways that you're going to die. One is suicide, the other is to be killed by another human. The third way is, of course, to be eaten, with, you know, get eaten, have the skin come off your bones, and arguably the most excruciating way to die possible. And then finally, if you do manage to live for many years, if you do manage to sort of live into old age, you're going to be living every day of your life in the constant fear that, you know, you could die quite easily, sort of thing. And quite frankly, I don't think that's really any way to live. So now that I've finished ranting and raving about just how bad a zombie apocalypse could be, what if it does happen? It's not too much of a far-fetched question, I don't think. I mean, viruses are continuing to adapt and overcome current antibiotics, and maybe one day a virus which does cause people to have zombie-like behaviour may come about, may happen. So if it does come about, what do you do? The honest truth is, it's not a very easy question to answer, you know, because let's face it, most of the time our goals in life are to achieve our dreams, do what makes us happy. But in the event of a zombie apocalypse, the goal in life is to remain living. I suppose if or when it does happen, the first question is, how far has it spread? Is it something we're hearing about from some distant country in the world, or is it something that's happening on our doorstep? Because obviously that depends on how that relates to how much time you have to prepare. Now, near my house is a TA army base, though as much as it would be an ideal place to be during this scenario, I don't think they would necessarily let us in. Hopefully I wouldn't have to find out. If it's something that's much, much closer, in my opinion, the best thing to do would be to hide in a loft. You know, it's not cowardice as such, because the only alternative is to get fucked. I mean, sure, you can kill a few of them, but then what? You know, if you put all the necessary supplies in the attic with your food, drink, radio, mobile phones, all that sort of stuff, something to keep you alive and something to keep you preferably in communication with the outside world. And then it's just a matter of composing your thoughts, regrouping and thinking of a plan as to how to proceed forward.